I'm going to call on Albert Calvo to come up to the stage, and we're going to talk about a little bit about the early days of the Young Ones. And they supported quite a few big bands back in the early days. Albert, tell me some stories about your work with Billy Thorpe. You supported the Easy Beats back in the old days. Ray Brown and the Whispers, yep. And where that was all at Emico Centre, those jobs, or where were they? Where did those support at? Emico Hall? We've got your mic going there? Yeah, that's better. Right now, just tell us a bit about the early days. It started off as the Urchins.
We were only 12 or 13 years
Yes, yeah, weren't very old.
Me, Jeff Cartwright, and Tony Houlihan down there somewhere.
Yeah.
We were in the back shed at Mum's house and Dad's house in McLaughlin Street, and we played about 15 songs with 3 chords.
Oh, really?
And sometimes 2 chords. It was too hard to find the third one.
Yeah, I remember doing that when I was 15 years old. The fingers used to get blisters on them.
No, but we had a terrific time as kids. We were blessed in the sense that the Urchins became the Young Ones.
Yeah.
And we were sponsored by the Police Boys Club here in Orange.
Yeah.
And Constable Bob Hook, I don't know if anyone else remembers Constable Bob Hook. Yeah? No? Anyway, he really promoted us. He got us support gigs for Billy Thorpe, Ray Brown and the Whispers, the Easy Beats, and we were second to none for being backup band for the Black Diamonds.
Wow. And back in those days, you were supporting the rock gods of the Australian music industry.
Yeah,
so
that's right. Yeah.
That is part of music history, those bands you've just mentioned, with Ray Brown and the Whispers and the Easy Beats. Yeah. And as I said, they're part of rock history. Yeah. And you were part of it, you and the band. And then the band went on then to form into Eros.
That's right.
Now, I remember telling you this story and a couple of others. 1971, Eros. 1971?
69, Eros started.
Hoadley's Battle of the Sounds.
Hoadley's Battle of the Sounds.
Yeah, but
Eros.
69, Eros started.
Yeah.
Who were the original members of Eros?
Myself, Jeff Cartwright, Bobby Carroll, and Joe Newendike, and Ray Vanderby.
Yeah, that's right. And you went on to play in the Hoadley's Battle of Bands at Emico Centre, and I was actually playing in the band that night.
That's right.
And Eros came second, and another Orange band called Confederate came first.
They came first.
So that was a little bit of history there. And then from there you went on to, you went to Sydney then.
That's right. I went to Sydney I went to Canberra first.
Oh, that's right, you're Canberra,
With Jeff Cartwright and Archie Van Thiel.
Yeah.
And we formed this band down there, and we did the Canberra circuit for about 2 years.
I remember, what was the band's name?
Phalanx.
Yeah, Phalanx, yep.
Yeah.
So that was the Canberra days. You were in Canberra for quite a few years.
Yeah. And then 73, late 73, early 74, I went to Sydney because I felt as though I needed to know. I needed to know what I was doing.
Yes, that happens. And then later on, you've made your own recording studio, or?
Yes, I've been blessed with that little recording studio. I've recorded 5 or 6 albums for myself.
Yeah.
And for some other people who wanted to do demos.
Yeah.
Right, and then I also did probably over 1,500 audio tracks for TV shows.
Yeah, which is a very big effort to...
and it pays well.
And you wrote a lot of that back in music.
That's right, yeah.
And they've been played on TV for
all over the world.
Yeah, that's a great effort.
Yeah.
And that's what you're still doing today, I believe.
Yeah?
Yeah, well, that's fantastic.
I know. But froggy.
You get a bit of treat back there, eh? Froggy's giving you hell.
Yeah. All right, that's pretty well how it all happened, and I've been doing that ever since.
Yeah.
And Bob's your uncle.
Now, very quickly, I know the band is a bit of an anxious to start. Your sister's written a book.
My sister Clelly, she's written a book called She is the first female journalist in Australia for a big rock magazine called
Go Set magazine.
Go Set magazine.
And she interviewed some
She
international
again,
stars. And
she again interviewed. If you look through the book, you'll see she's interviewed all the great acts that came to Sydney, like Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple, Elton John, you know.
And there's some huge names there.
Yeah.
Now, that book is part of one of the raffle prizes tonight too, ladies and gentlemen. And the book is for sale as well. So if you go to the merchandise table down the back there, clearly his book's on sale, or it can be part of your prize for the raffle tonight. Thanks very much, Albert. We don't want to take up too much time because we have got some other superstars. Right, well, we've got Mick Reid here, one of the original members of the Mystery Men. Mick, just tell us a bit about when the band started, what year it started.
No idea.
No idea. Can't remember. I love the answer. It was that bloody long ago you can't remember.
Probably about 60. Probably about 61.
Right, 61, 62, 1961s. Yeah, and that was, that was the start of the rock and roll era, Johnny O'Keefe days and all.
The Beatles weren't even out at that stage.
Yeah. And how long did the Mystery Men play for in Orange?
Oh, about 5 years.
About 5 years. So what, about 61 to 66, 67?
Like that, yeah.
And then what, you moved to Sydney or?
Spent a year in Coffs Harbour, then I moved to Sydney.
So you moved to Sydney, and what were you doing in Sydney when you moved down there?
I got a day job for a while, and then finally got into a band, did some gigs. Did a couple of years with just bands and doing around clubs and stuff, and then I got a job in Jesus Christ Superstar as a full-time understudy for the guitar and the bass.
Wow, that
was the start of something.
Yeah, no, that's a big effort. Jesus Christ Superstar was a big sellout. What would you call it? Theatre play, concert in Sydney back in the 60s.
Yeah, I came in a little bit through the first season.
Yeah. Now, also,
You're going well.
we love these interviews. Also, you toured with Slim Dusty.
Yeah, I did 4 years with Slim Dusty. Yeah.
I've got a true story about Slim Dusty. I've worked with him on a couple of occasions with me good mate Alan Brown down there, and I got Slim to sign my partner a poster. And I said, Slim, can you sign Vicky a poster for her? And he said, no worries, mate. He put 2 Dicky. Was Slim a bit deaf? And Vicky still got the poster. Yeah, 2 Dicky, not Vicky, 2 Dicky. And you work with Slim. Now, you've also worked on the Ray Martin show, I believe.
Yeah, well, it's called the Midday Show. Mike Walsh and Ray Martin. And I was actually doing that at the same time I was working with Slim.
Yeah, so, and what was it like working on the Ray Martin show? Jeff Harvey was the music director.
Yeah, it was fine. And they had 3 different bands, so you'd only do 1 week in 3, so we didn't get too bored with the job, you know.
Oh, right, yeah.
It was good.
And you played guitar in the band?
Yeah.
And
9 years.
9 years?
Yeah, 9 years. Yeah.
So you would have worked for more than Ray Martin then? You would have...
Started with Mike Walsh.
Oh, yeah, Mike Walsh, yeah.
Finished with Ray Martin.
Wow, that's...
Yeah.
So you're basically a session musician with the TV midday show?
Yeah. And after that, just straight downhill.
Straight downhill from there. Well, Mick, at least you've been to the top, mate. The Mystery Men were the top in Orange back in the 60s. You made the top in Sydney with the midday show. Thanks very much for your music talent and creating music history here in Orange. As I said earlier, this is only the second time you and the Mystery of Men have played in 56 years, apparently. And that's a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mick Reid.
Thanks, Terry. Thank you.
One of our very special guests is a homegrown girl, born and bred in Orange. She moved away many years ago, but I'm going to invite a very special lady up. She will be performing a little bit later on tonight. Her name is Cindy Pritchard. Would you please welcome Cindy Pritchard to the stage? Now, those people who might think that name's familiar, Cindy's mum and dad had Pritchard's menswear store here in Orange. And Sydney now resides in Melbourne. And she's done a lot since she played in her first band at school, Eclipse for Memory.
It was after school, about 77, 78, 79, yeah, Eclipse.
And then you did what? You moved away after school?
I moved to Sydney in 1980 to study acting and did a 3-year drama course at the Ensemble in Sydney.
In Sydney, and that led on to a lot of big things, I believe.
Mainly big major musical theatre productions.
And tell us a bit about that.
Well, I was in the original Australian production of Les Miserables.
How about that, ladies? Les Miserables. And
Les Mis.
you worked with a guy that I toured with a few years.
Yeah, just a guy that you might know, Normie Rowe.
And what a name to work with, because I've worked with Normie, and he sang, when I was working with him, he did a song from Les Mis, and as I said last night, his voice is just as good today as it was back in the 60s.
Absolutely.
And you had the pleasure of working with him.
Oh, yeah. I worked with him for a year. I did the show for 4 years.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I did 1,200 performances of that show.
Wow, that's
And
incredible.
Normie was our original Valjean.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget in rehearsals, he used to blow me away. He was so good.
Good on you. Yeah.
Did you? Awesome.
We've got another person worked at Les Mis here.
Wow.
Yeah. And now another person you've worked with is Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman, yeah.
Come on, throw some names out there.
Just drop another name.
Yeah, drop it.
Yeah. No, I did. I was in the original Australian production of Beauty and the Beast in Melbourne, and I worked on that show for a year with Hugh Jackman. And I was on the role of Mrs. Potts for 60 performances in Melbourne. But I played the egg timer and a few other characters in the ensemble, but I went on a lot for Mrs. Potts. And of course, Hugh and Deb, I went to their wedding.
Really?
Yep, they came to my wedding.
Wow.
My marriage broke up fairly soon, and I thought they would last forever. I was very shocked.
Well, I was going to say, Hugh didn't last
Very
either,
sad.
so...
Yeah.
As a person, what's Hugh like to work with? Is he...
Hugh, lovely.
He appears to be a very easygoing sort of guy.
He's a very easygoing, lovely man.
Yeah, no, that's what he comes across as.
Yeah.
Now, some other things you've done, there's a new thing in the pipeline we were talking about earlier, a bit of a surprise that hasn't been announced yet. Would you like to tell the audience what's coming up?
Okay, well, I sort of moved into film, and I've been involved with 2 feature films, and I've done a lot of short films, and both as an actor and also as a co-producer. And the most recent one we actually came out. We filmed it in Campbelltown, and it's a Christmas movie. It actually came out last Christmas, and did the rounds of the cinemas. It ended up being shown on Channel 10 on Christmas night last year. Well, I just got word, and I actually asked, can I tell people, because it hasn't been announced to anyone at all yet.
So this is...
So it's called Christmas, as in Christmas but messy, a messy Christmas. So Christmas, and Netflix has just bought it. And it will be starting to be screened from the 6th of December on Netflix.
Breaking
exciting.
news here in Orange tonight at the Old Orange Rockers. How about that? That's great, Cindy. And look, mate, all the best for the future. I've got to say this in front of Cindy, the amount of talent that comes out of this town is amazing.
Sure.
I was just talking to Mick Reid a while ago. I worked with Ray Martin and Mike Walsh. Albert's got a recording studio. He's worked with a huge amount of famous people with his recording studio. His songs and music themes that he's written have been on TV shows and things like that. So people that grow up in Orange, move away, have made a big niche in the Australian music scene.
That's right.
And you've done exactly the same.
Well, I also was a regular singer on Good Morning Australia with Hugh Jackman. Not with Hugh Jackman at all, but I worked with Hugh at the same time, and also worked with Bert Newton. I toured the country with Bert, also in The Sound of Music.
And tell us about Bert. I've got to know.
Oh, Bert. Oh, He was such a wonderful man. I loved him so
Yeah,
much.
the late
He
great
was a
Bert
very
Newton.
good mate. And
Well, he's an Australian icon, Bert Newton,
really was.
and you had the pleasure of working with
I
him.
did. I worked with him on stage and also as a regular singer on Good Morning Australia for 5.5 years.
The little country
There you
girl
go.
from Orange,
There you go.
throwing all these big names at us.
Sorry. Clang. Let's go for another one.
Well, I'm going to tell the audience something else. The ones that weren't here last night, wait till you hear Cindy's voice. She's going to be singing with the house band tonight, doing a Fleetwood Mac song, Rhiannon, and she'll blow you away. So make sure you get your cameras out, your videos on your phone, because this lady can sing. So a big thank you, Cindy. Thanks very much for joining the Old Orange Rockers. It's been a pleasure talking to you the last 2 nights. And thanks very much. I think our band's just about ready, are they? You ready, PJ? Why not?
Everyone.
Yeah, big round of applause for Cindy Pritchard, ladies and gentlemen. Right, it gives me great pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce you to this very beautiful special lady. She's part of Australian music history. She was born and bred in here in Orange. Welcome to the stage, Margaret Britt.
Thank you. Thank you, Terry.
Now, Margaret started off 1968. You went to New Zealand for a while with your brother. That's correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. That's correct.
Yeah. And then when you came back from New Zealand, Margaret, come closer, darling.
Come closer. Yeah.
Now, when you came back from New Zealand, what did you do? You moved to Sydney, did you?
Well, I said I was going to have the first girl group, rock group in Australia. And I had about 5 or 6 weeks, and I found the girls, and we played at Stomp City.
Yeah.
And that was about the second gig.
And our Stomp City here in Orange, the old Emeco Centre.
No, in Orange, yes.
Yeah. You sold out a record crowd. It was the biggest crowd the Emeco Centre ever had.
That's
it
right.
outsold the Easy Beats. It outsold a lot of big name bands at the time. But the homegrown Margaret Britt, with her new girl band, the Vamps, beat all records for the old Emeco Centre attendance. That's a pretty good effort.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, in 1968, the band was formed, the Vamps,
The Vamps.
as I recall, were formed down at Bondi Junction in Sydney, is that correct?
Yes.
And from there, you went you went to Melbourne to work. You worked around the Sydney hotel circuit, and then worked in Melbourne for quite a while.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah. And what was the Melbourne scene? Which was a better scene, Sydney or Melbourne, to work in?
Oh, well, look, I like both, but they're different music style.
Yeah.
We found, they like different to Sydney.
Yeah. And, all right, from Melbourne, that was 1967, actually, Melbourne. In 1968, you did a tour of Vietnam. Just tell us a bit about that.
67.
67, was it?
Yeah, 67, 68 we were there.
And tell us a little bit about, you were actually touring in a war zone,
Yes.
and the first Australian all-girl band over in a war zone. Was it a scary place to be at the time?
Well, I loved it.
You loved it?
Yeah, sorry. I had a camera and I was taking pictures of everything,
Yeah.
good and bad, and I was going to come back home and tell the world, or tell everybody in Sydney, what was really how it was really over there.
Oh, yeah, from first-hand experience, yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Now, there's a bit of a story about Vietnam too. You were on stage doing a concert in Vietnam in the war zone, and a mortar shell landed very close to you, and you had to evacuate the stage, go to a shelter,
Yep.
and you got in big trouble for something. Did you want to tell everybody what you got in trouble for?
Look, I had my guitar, I took my guitar with me, but then I got down there and I forgot the echolette. And I had to rush back and get the echolette. I saved that.
And you got in big trouble for that
I
because
certainly did.
you've been mortar shelled. Everybody
Yep.
had to go to evacuate to a safe place.
Yep.
And what's little Margaret Britt do? Run back to the stage to get her echolette.
Absolutely.
And she got wrapped over the knuckles for that one. Now, 1969, Margie, the band decided to go to America for a
Yes.
6-week tour or something, was it?
Well, it was 6 months, but ended up 6 years.
I know, the 6 months lasted 6 years. Now, tell us why it lasted 6 years. What was happening in America? One thing very important happened in America. You got married there.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about the American scene and how the Vamps were accepted in America.
Well, they loved it because we could play.
Yeah.
We actually play. And they were very appreciative. And they taught us a lot, actually, about presentation, everything. And we worked in Vegas as well.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it was just great. I loved it. But at 6 months, after we were there, just probably about 2 months, we had contracts then right through the year. Yeah.
Yeah, so that lasted for 6 years, and back in, 1975, you came back to Australia, or?
Yes, yes, came back. Yeah.
And you came back to Australia with your new husband, John Kirk?
That's right. He's from St. Louis, and he was in Vietnam when the Vamps were there, but we never got to meet that group until we went after the Tet Offensive happened, when they were taking over Saigon. So many of the bands disappeared. They just had to get out. They were scared.
Yeah.
And they wanted to know if we wanted to go. I said, no, we're staying.
Yeah.
And we stayed, and we were the first band to go out then when the Tet was on.
Oh, right.
And we got fired on, machine guns on the way home.
Oh, right.
But we were okay. I was in a combi van, and when we got back to the hotel, there was bullet holes all in the back.
Yeah.
All in the back of the van. But we didn't have to stop. We didn't get hurt.
Yeah.
We were right.
And actually, when you came back to Australia with your husband, the band had a name change. It was John and the Vamps, or the Vamps and John?
Well, in America, they insisted on the Australian, playing on the Australian, so it was the Australian Vamps when we were there. And when John joined, it was John and the Australian Vamps.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. So then he came back to Australia, and then he formed his own band. And Mick Reid, who's a fantastic, phenomenal player, guitar and harmonica, he worked with John quite a bit. John had a band called Buckshot.
Is Mick still down there somewhere?
Yes, he's out the back.
Around somewhere. Yeah. Now, in 1977, the band had a name change from the Vamps to...
Peaches.
That's right. And Peaches had the first all-girl Australian #1 hit record with Substitute, the old Righteous Brothers hit song. And tell us a bit about the years that Peaches started playing, and you would have been getting a lot of TV coverage, a lot of radio airplay.
Yes, we did quite a lot of work in Noumea, in New Caledonia, plus back to New Zealand. We went to New Zealand, for a couple of months, and we were still on the Millers circuit in Sydney, which, as you know, was one of the biggest chains. Yeah, that was great. Yeah.
And then over the years, I did a bit of research on this. You had something like 24 lineup changes between the Vamps and Peaches. Now, it was Margaret. It was her band. The Vamps. Margaret formed it, managed it, organised all the tours. You did all the work for the Vamps and the Peaches. But if somebody did something wrong, or they didn't turn up, or something went wrong, you'd sack them and get somebody else in. And you went through 24 different artists. You're a hard taskmaster, aren't you?
Well, that's what they say, but not really. I've mellowed a real lot.
You just expect perfection, that's all it is.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
It is.
Anyway, later on, when the Peaches' career was over, you and your husband John formed a trio called Sky's the Limit. Yeah,
we had Michael, well, he's passed now, Michael Derwin, and on bass, and John Kirk, that was him. St. Louis. Yeah.
And that band was actually playing right up till March this year.
Absolutely, yes.
So
yeah.
from 1968
Yeah.
to 2025, you have constantly been playing in the music scene. You just
Yes.
love it.
Yeah. Can't get over it.
Can't get over it. You're a legend. As I said, Margaret is in the Australian history books as being the first Australian all-girl band, the first #1 hit record by an Australian all-girl band, and I think a bit of an Australian legend. Ladies and gentlemen, please give Margaret Britt, who will be performing a little bit later on with the house band. Give Margaret Britt a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much. I love you. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, Murray, how you going, mate? Oh, going well. Big round of applause. The Red Weagle.
Great to see you all.
All right, Murray, let's go back to the early days. But Murray was born in Cowra, believe it or not. So, and that's where I come from, but I've been in the music business around Orange for 55 years. But born in Cowra, his father was a policeman in Cowra, detective. Got a transfer to Orange at a young age.
That's right, yeah. In 1968, we moved to Orange. I was 8 years old and went to school here, went to Orange East Public for a year, then to Calais, went on to Orange High School. Dad was in the police the whole time. And this was a really formative kind of place for me, the music scene here. This is where I started playing music. I learnt guitar from Cedric Inman, who was playing bass before, and also from Rob Bartlett, who was in Confederate and Thunderband. And there was so much great music happening here, and it was really formative. And the other guys too, Paul Jones and Alan Brown, used to play in Accent. And they used to play our school dances, and so you got to see a lot of live music, and that's really where I started.
And Murray, I must say it is a pleasure having you here tonight. I know you're a very busy man still, but it's great that you've taken part in the old Orange Rockers music scene.
Loving it.
Now, at what an early age, Murray's father then got a transfer to Sydney. You went to Sydney Uni.
Yeah, that's right. I went briefly to Sydney Uni. I finished my school in Sydney at Endeavour High School in Caringbah, and met some guys there that formed a band, and we started playing around in the 80s. Contrary to common belief, I wasn't in the Cockroaches. Anthony and Jeff from the Wiggles were in the Cockroaches, but I played a lot, and it was a really great time in Sydney and all around Australia in the 80s for live music. That we weren't a great band, but we got lots of gigs, and we really learned our craft, and that was a good apprenticeship for here and there was a good apprenticeship for what came later.
Yeah, and I've got to mention some of the bands Murray played in. There was Transistors.
Yeah, the Transistors.
Remember Transistors? And the Finger Guns?
Yeah, Finger Guns was the second one. We did a few singles for RCA, and we thought we were going to make it, but we didn't.
Didn't happen. Then in 1986, you joined a band called Bang Shang-a-Lang.
Yeah, we kind of played while the Wiggles were happening. In the late 80s, I decided that music wasn't going to be my career, and so I went to university and studied early childhood teaching, and that's where I met Anthony. And we both taught briefly after we finished, but we were doing the Wiggles at the same time. We recorded an album of music. The Cockroaches manager, Jeremy Fabini, who also managed Metal as Anything, got us a record deal with ABC Music. They put it out, but we still thought it was a hobby. We were playing gigs at preschools and just little parties and stuff like that. And then the record started taking off, and ABC Music told us that if we sold 5,000 copies, that was a really big children's album. And that album went to sell over 70,000 records. And we ended up selling, I think, by the time I left, I think we sold about 5 million albums and about 25 million DVDs.
That's
I don't like to brag, but
Murray, brag, please brag. Because Murray was a Red Wiggle from 1991 to 2012. And then after you retired from performing with the Wiggles, you went on to manage and tour manager for the Wiggles.
Yeah, just really briefly. I just found it was a bit too hard because if you're managing a band or booking their shows, you've got to be really tough. And when everyone knows you were the Red Wiggle, it's kind of hard to be tough. So I wasn't very good at making the deal, so I let someone else take that over.
Yes. Now, you've got two very talented children. Because Murray's been touring the world for so many years with the Wiggles, it was very hard for your wife and home life. You've been away so much. But when you did come home, you spent as much time with your children as you could, take them to school and...
Yeah, I did, and my wife's actually here. She's up the back.
What's her name?
Meg, and Meg.
Hello, Meg.
And Meg did it really tough, and she kept the home fires burning. And I've told her many times, but I really, really appreciate what she did. She really kept the family together. Yeah. And it's a fun life being a touring musician, but it's a really hard life. And, it's hard for the family. My kids missed out on a lot. I missed out on a lot. Yeah. So.
No, and honestly, Murray, I can relate to that because I've been through it myself. Every musician up here on stage, you miss the kids' cricket, you miss the kids' football, you miss their basketball tournaments because you're out working, trying to make a living for everybody. Tell us a bit about the Splendour Festival. Now, I know the story behind this, but I want Murray to tell you.
Sure. Yeah, so quite a few years ago now, about 5 years, I guess, I did a video with a young band called DZ Death Rays, and they're pretty well known. Ask your grandkids about them. They're a great rock band, and they asked me to be in their video, and then they were headlining Splendour that year, and they asked me to come along and play with them, and so their song was called Like People. That was the video that I was in, and so I got up and played that with them, and then they wanted to do a cover, and because I saw AC/DC here in 1976 with Bon Scott down at Amico Hall, were you there? Anyone there? It was a great night, and so I said, let's do Highway to Hell. So I got to do Highway to Hell with this great rock band in front of about 10,000 people at Splendid.
DZ and the Death Rays was the band, but the crowd couldn't get over. Here's the Red Wiggle playing Highway to Hell.
Yeah, they were pretty pleased when I walked out, I got to say.
Now tell us a bit about your daughter. She's a very talented young lady as well.
Yeah, my daughter Georgia, both my kids are very talented. My son is a really great comic book artist, and he's just making his way in that world. And my daughter, she's an academic. She has a PhD. Taught her everything she knows, of course. But she also plays wheelchair basketball. She has a slight disability, and she's just been in Thailand playing in the Australian team. And she went to Tokyo to the Paralympics, and
which is
she's
quite
a bit of a star. So very proud of my whole family. They're great.
So you should be, Murray, and I think we all are. Anybody with children and growing up with our lifestyles, we love our children to death. Now, in 2015, you joined a band with Lizzie Mack. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so Lizzie Mack's this great singer, and she I've been writing songs with her for about 10 years now, and she had a band called the Soul Movers, which she started with Dennis Tech from Radio, who's the guitar player from Radio Birdman. He'd moved on. I jumped in, and we've done 4 albums. Few for ABC Music, some for a couple of other labels, and it's just great fun. We tour a bit, but not like the Wiggles toured. So I'm home during the week and most weekends, I guess. But that's been really great, and it's been a great creative outlet. Because one of the things I missed after leaving the Wiggles was having that real creative outlet. So we write the songs together, and we play all over Australia, and we've done quite a few festivals.
Yeah, and Lizzie Mack and yourself and the Soul Movers went to America in 2015, was it?
2018, I think it was.
2018.
Yeah, we went over to Muscle Shoals, Alabama. There's some great studios there where people like Aretha Franklin, Wilson Pickett, the Rolling Stones. The Rolling Stones did Brown Sugar in one of the studios we recorded at. And we played with these great musicians. They call them the Swampers, and it was a real thrill. It was one of those kind of bucket list things. And we recorded an album there. And we also then went to Memphis, Tennessee, and recorded at Sun Studios, where Elvis was discovered. So as a rock nerd, which I am, it was pretty cool.
Well, you're in very good hands in that studio, so it was a bit of an honour, actually, to record in a studio with so many famous names, recording in the same studio. Now, Murray, you're still touring around with Lizzie Mack, and there's a name change, though.
Yeah, there is, because most of our music isn't soul music, we play a little bit of soul, but we kind of got saddled with that name, and people just assume you're a soul band, so we've changed it probably fairly immodestly to Murray and the Movers. It's just a good way of letting people know that I'm in the band, and yeah, so we'll see how that goes. But we've got a new single out. It's on all the streaming platforms and all that modern stuff. You know?
Give it a plug, come on.
Yeah, it's called If I'm With You, and it's on Spotify and Apple Music and all that stuff.
Can I ask you what sort of genre the music is?
Well, it's a whole bunch of different stuff. This single's kind of more sort of probably 80s rock and roll, power pop kind of stuff.
Good,
so,
good.
Yeah.
As long as it's decent
It's all
music.
pretty retro. None of us is very young, so we play the music we love.
As long as it's not a Wiggles version of hip-hop or something like that. No. Now, we'll finish up the interview. I know you've got a bit more time on your hands now. When you do have time off, you've got some interests. Just tell us a little bit about what you do when you're not working, and you can sort of charities and things like that.
It's interesting because I looked at Terry's notes, and I think they're from Wikipedia, and I'm not sure who wrote my Wikipedia page, but one of the things it says is cooking.
Cooking.
And my wife will attest that that's not, no, she's shaking her head, that's not one of my pastimes.
I got corrected on that last night.
I like reading, I like going to see my daughter play basketball, spending time with family, all that sort of stuff.
And you're involved with a charity, though, or some charities?
Yeah, I have been, over the years, been involved with quite a lot of charity. The Wiggles always spend time at children's hospitals, which can sometimes be a kind of sad experience because you hear later that the child passed away. But, you know, it's very rewarding and it's good for the families and a bunch of other things. We sort of don't make a big deal out of it, but we like to give back because we've been so fortunate to be in the position that we're in. Yeah,
no, that's great, Murray. Look, thanks very much for your time. Thanks for coming. Murray's going to be back up on stage a little bit later on as well. So he's going to rock the joint tonight, don't worry. Thank you. Big round of applause for Murray Cook, ladies and gentlemen. And while we're organising that, we're just going to thank some very special people who have put a lot of effort into making the last two nights possible. First of all, I've already mentioned Orange X Services Club, but there's been some very hard-working Orange Old Rockers as well that I'm going to mention that I want you to give a big round of applause for, because it's been a very hard-working small committee that has spent 8 months planning the last two nights. So the Orange Old Rockers Committee consisted of Mr. Jeffrey Cartwright. Take a bow, Jeffrey. Jeff's up the back there. Albert Calvo. Take a bow, sir. The amount of hours that Albert's put into it, and Jeffrey, has been amazing with video editing and all sorts of things for the ads. We're also Jeff Brown. Take a bow, sir. Now, the only person I haven't mentioned much about tonight is Jeff Brown. Original Confederate and Thunder Band, a legend, came all the way from Queensland. He did all the budgeting for putting tonight together, and he spent many, many hours over 8 months doing, making sure everything was going to be paid for and balanced. So well done, Jeff Brown. Alan Carroll, where are you, mate? Another gentleman who's come all the way from Queensland. Alan's responsible for a lot of our video editing as well, a lot of our advertising clips. Many, many hours over 8 months, Alan Carroll. Mate, you're a legend with the rest of them. Thanks very much for your time. It's been wonderful. Big round of applause for Alan Carroll. Another Alan in the audience, Mr. Alan Brown. From Centre State Sound and Lighting. He's pointing the finger at me as much to say, yeah, you forgot me last night, you bastard. I know he's there tonight. But AB, once again, many hours that have been put into it. Alan's responsible for all our sound tonight, all our lighting. He's been to every meeting and has made tonight possible. So Alan and his crew have been fantastic in helping organising tonight. two other members that I don't know whether they're here tonight. They were on the committee earlier in the year, but Rob Bartlett and John Kitch had to pull out because of different health reasons, but they were part of the committee in the early part of the year. So a big thank you to Rob for his input and also John Kitch for his input. But we're going to get the group photo done now, so have we got everybody? Can we get... I'll stand at the back somewhere. And somebody I forgot, our official photographer, Denise O'Hara. And also Kia Video. I forgot Kia. Kia Video will be producing the video with Albert Calvo doing the editing, and that will be happening... I better get out of the way here. Albert will be also... a CD or a video will be available on the Old Orange Rockets page in a couple of months' time. Smile, everybody.